Hi, I'm Hannah, this is Piles of Books, and today I'm going to be sharing our recent library haul. Okay, so like I mentioned, I believe in the last library haul that I shared, I mostly use the library for my kids. I do get some books for myself. I have three, I think, to share today, but for the most part, I go for my kids because I've got tons of books in my house that I need to read. So every now and then the fancy does strike me. There's a book that I just really want to read, so I get it from the library. But by and large, I am working on reading my own books. However, the library is absolutely fantastic for kids. We have tons of children's books as well, picture books and chapter books. But obviously, just the experience of going to the library is extremely fun. And so, yeah, it's enjoyable to take my kids and let them choose books for themselves. So I am going to start with the picture books first, and then we'll move to chapter books, and then I will share the few books that I got for myself last time at the end. Okay, so this is the stack of picture books that we got. I try to typically limit my kids to like 3 picture books a piece, but then I will grab some that I see as well. And I try to grab some that relate in some way to, something we're doing for school, or like we've got several books on bugs this time, so I also choose some. And then, we walk away with a humongous stack. Okay, these are in no particular order. I'm just going to start sharing them. Okay, actually, I'll save these two for last. Okay, so we've got The House That George Built by Suzanne Slade. We haven't read this one yet, but it looked really fun. So it is kind of a take on The House That Jack Built, but it's with George Washington. So this is the lot, that grand scenic spot for the president's house that George built. This is the design that would stand for all time, that was drawn for the lot, that grand scenic spot for the president's house that George built. So the illustrations are lovely, very, very nice illustrations. And yeah, I just thought that would be kind of a fun one. And then we got Birdsong by Audrey Wood. We really enjoy books by Audrey Wood, and I believe that we have gotten this one before, but I couldn't necessarily remember it at the time. But this one, of course, the illustrations are great, and we haven't read this one yet either, but I think that it will be a favorite. All right, we got Pigs Ahoy by David McPhail. I don't remember who picked this one out, but it just looked kind of fun. And it rhymes, so I often look for books that rhyme. But yeah, it looked cute. And then we got S is for Sea Glass, a beach alphabet. So we live in the Midwest. We do not live anywhere close to the ocean, but we have gone several times, and it is one of our favorite places to be. So we have gotten this book from the library numerous times, but it just goes through the alphabet. So S is for Sea Glass. And then something that I like about these books is if I'm reading it to, just my 2 youngest kids, I oftentimes will just do the S is for Sea Glass, T is for Tide, but then with my older kids, we will read the whole text. And this also rhymes, so I like that a lot. And next is No Small Potatoes, Junius G. Groves and His Kingdom in Kansas. So my 8-year-old chose this book. I told him he needed to choose a biography, and so he chose a biography picture book, which is fine with me. We really love picture books around here. But so this is just, again, really nice illustrations. And we haven't read this one yet, but we will probably try to get to that one today. So the next two kind of go together. This is Colonial People, the Shipbuilder, and Colonial People, the Carpenter. I chose these they just looked, they're more text than a typical picture book, but I still thought that they were fun, and they have photographs rather than just illustrations. So we are looking forward to reading these. And then Catskill Eagle by Herman Melville, and the paintings are by Thomas Locker. So this is another one that we have gotten out multiple times. Of course, with the illustrations being by Thomas Locker, you can be assured that they are just lovely. And there's not a lot of text in this book. It's, just a lot of picture, but definitely there is a lot to see. So we like this one. This is a very enjoyable book. Then I got a number of board books, so I'm going to save those for last. But The Wise Woman and Her Secret by Eve Merriam. I've seen this one at the library, but we've just never gotten it before. But I liked the illustrations. Very nice. And I don't actually know what it's about. We have not read it yet, but it looked like a fun one. We've got The Magic School Bus Plants Seeds. So my 6-year-old, I told her she needed to choose like a nonfiction sort of book, and she is very interested in gardening. She is actually an excellent gardener, way better than me. So it did not surprise me that she chose a book about seeds or flowers or gardening, and she loves The Magic School Bus. So this is a fun one. We've gotten this one out before. This is a large board book. Time for School Mouse by by Laura Numeroff and Felicia Bond. This is the same as If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So my 2-year-old chose this book. It is humongous. It's kind of heavy because it's a board book, but it is fun, and we've read it a couple of times together already. Whoops. My stack fell. Okay. The Bug Club by Elise Gravel. So this is really fun. There are just all kinds of pictures, illustrations about bugs, different kinds of bugs, the life of an insect, just random facts about different bugs. My 8-year-old read this. I intended to read this with them, and I think I still will, but we haven't done it yet. I kind of thought that it would be fun to take, the pill bug, and read about it, and then find some actual photographs of the pill bug, and then draw in our nature journals, but we haven't done that yet. That is the plan though. And then another gardening book, How a Seed Grows. This is the Let's Read and Find Out Science. We tend to really like this series. They're not always my favorite, but for the most part they're good. So they've got just really pretty illustrations, not too much text, but definitely enough. So we enjoyed these, and I'm pretty sure we've read this one before. Alright, next is The World Needs Who You Were Made to Be by Joanna Gaines. I got this solely because of the name, Joanna Gaines, and because the illustrations are beautiful. Now, while the illustrations are very pretty, this was not my favorite book. The message was fine. It is told in rhyme, and I think I mostly just felt that the rhyme was too, you could tell she was trying. It didn't necessarily come naturally, I felt like, but it is a sweet book, and just, the illustrations, I cannot get enough of them. They are gorgeous. Alright, we've got Lala Loopsy, Let's Grow a Garden. So again, this was one that my 6-year-old chose. It's definitely just a fun book. The illustrations are cute. They are like little sewn dolls and flowers and things. So we have checked out a number of these in the past. I think this is my favorite one. So this is First Notes of Spring. This book was very fun to read. So it is told in rhyme, and it starts with, is she a badger? I'm not totally sure. Anyway, she wants to play her instrument in the orchestra that calls in spring, but she plays a drum, and so Mr. Moose, the conductor, does not really appreciate the noise, so she kind of has to make room for herself in the orchestra. And so this was a very fun one. Of my 2-year-old got such a kick out of the sound effects. It was very cute. So this is definitely one that we should have read earlier in the spring, but now that I know that, I will put it on my spring book list next year, and so we will probably get it next year in the earlier springtime. But yes, this was very fun. I highly recommend this book. The next ones that I have, we have a third one around here, and I don't know which of my kids carried off with it, but we have these Mr. McGee books, so Down to the Sea with Mr. McGee and Learning to Ski with Mr. McGee, and then the other one is a camping one. These books were really fun. My sister-in-law recommended them to us, and we were actually at the library with her when she returned them. So she told the librarian, hey, Hannah's going to be down here in a little bit, and she's going to want these. So the librarian just held them on the counter for me. So pays to have bookish friends. So these are really fun. They are, again, told in rhyme, which I personally just love for children's books. And the illustrations are so vivid. Very bright colors. These were really fun. And I love the size of these. I'm trying to find, let me see. So this is like, you know, a longer picture book, and it's, I don't know, it's not as tall as a normal picture book is. It's just, it's a fun size to hold. And yes, we really have enjoyed these a lot. We've read them multiple times, and my older two have read them on their own too. So these are definitely books that I can see us owning at some point. And then next we have a number of board books. Okay, so board books from the library. Do you get board books from the library? I did not ever get board books from the library. Like, I remember one time I got one on accident. I had put a book on hold and it came in the board book form, and I was disappointed about that. And then there was one time that my now 6-year-old was, I think she was 3, and she put one in our library bag and I didn't catch it until we were checking out. And again, like, I don't know, it was odd. It feels odd to me to choose board books from the library, and I have no idea why. We've been doing it lately for my 2-year-old. He's obviously just naturally gravitated to those shelves, and so we do get some every time, but I don't let him just look at them on his own, because my older 3, I don't know that they ever broke a book. Definitely not on purpose. He is just different than them. So anyway, these are the ones that we chose this time. We got Courageous World Changers, Change the World, 10 Daring Women of God. And this Brave Heroes and Bold Defenders, Be Brave and Bold, 10 Daring Men of God. So these are really, like, there's a picture and then just a very small amount of text. I needed to look. I believe that there are, oh yeah, on the back. It shows right on the back. What do you know? So I have bought this book as a gift for someone. We've never done the boys version of it, but I did like the Courageous World Changers, and that's 50 True Stories of Daring Women of God. So the board book is obviously just smaller for younger kids. We liked these a lot. Clifford's Bedtime. This is one that my 2-year-old obviously picked. This is another obvious pick for him. This is a tractor book. Just shows different parts of the tractor. And it is kind of broken, so. But yes, it's a cute little picture book. He is going to have a hard time sending that one back, I'm pretty sure. This is a fun one. What's your favorite bug? This is by Eric Carle and Friends. So I had never seen this before. I think it said it came out in 2018. This was really fun. So the first one is Caterpillars, and it's by Eric Carle. But then there's The Praying Mantis. This is by Denise Fleming. This one is Tegan White. So each different bug has a different children's author wrote about that bug, their favorite bug, and then illustrated it. So each page is different. And it was really, really fun to read this. This was a fun one. This was another favorite for me. And then Mrs. P. Knuckles, a Bug Alphabet. So this is one that I chose. So A is for ant, B is for bumblebee, C is for cricket, and then of course there's a little bit of information about each of those bugs. This was a really enjoyable one, and I am going to grab the other ones. I didn't see any of the others at our library, but I'm just going to go ahead and put them on hold and get them through interlibrary loan. So there's bird alphabet, flower alphabet, fruit alphabet, tree alphabet, and vegetable alphabet. Right here. I'm sure that we will love all of those as much as we loved this one. And next I'm going to do some easy readers and chapter books. So my 6-year-old is really just getting into independent reading, and it has been so fun to see her flourish in, my stack fell over again. It's been so fun to see her flourish in that way. She is very competitive, and so even though she's 2 years younger than her brother, she insists on being able to read as well as he does. And anyway, so she has been loving going to the library and checking out books just for her, and I gave her a notebook to keep a reading journal, so she has also enjoyed reading them and then writing them and star rating them, and being able to, count how many books she has read, this week or this month or whatever. So she got Eloise Has a Lesson, Jump Rope Contest, Berenstain Bears book. She's read this numerous times and has loved it. And then these, I think, this is a Let's Read Together book. There's 3 of them. I mean, there were more, but these are the 3 she got. Penny Hen, Foxy Fox, and Lucky Duck. So these were really fun for her because she has read these stories, or versions of these stories in the book that she learned to read with. So they are like little, I don't know, fairy tale, folk tale maybe would be the term for these. And then just kind of retold in these stories. So anyway, these were really fun for her. And then my 8-year-old, so he reads really high quality books for school, and for the most part he reads high quality books, but I do let him get some books that I wouldn't necessarily own, like Hank the Cowdog. So these are kind of like his candy books, I guess. He doesn't read them every day, but he does enjoy getting a number of them from the library when we go. So we've got Hank the Cowdog, The Mopwater Files, The Case of the Dinosaur Birds, and The Case of the Twisted Kitty, which he's read this one multiple times, so must be a good one. And then he also really enjoys the Boxcar Children, and we have quite a few of them, but I think he kind of has a personal goal of reading all of them. So he got Mystery in the Cave, The Creature in Agapago Lake, and The Blue Bay Mystery, which again, he has read this one before. And then I chose for him The Art of Time Travel. So this Monet Changes Mediums, and then there was also one about Shakespeare, and he has that one in his room right now because he's supposed to be reading it. I have not read these, but they looked really fun. So they're kind of mysteries about different artists of different genres, not just like paintings, obviously, like the Shakespeare one. It looked fun. We will be studying Monet in a few weeks for our next term in school, so that's why I chose that one. And then Eugenie Clark, Adventures of a Shark Scientist. I got this one for him as well, and I don't think he's read this one. I kind of wanted to read it myself. I don't think there's any illustrations in here. Oh, there's a few. But I thought he would like this one. Okay, so the 3 books that I got for myself are Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I saw Chantel talk about this several months ago, I think. And then I saw Libraries and Lattes talk about it. So I wanted to grab a copy for myself to read. Then also Shakespeare Saved My Life, 10 Years in Solitary with the Bard. I can't actually remember where I saw this. It almost seems like maybe, oh, it was in the Literary Life podcast discussion group on Facebook. Somebody talked about this. Then I got Louisa May Alcott's The Inheritance. I was reading this along with Alcott April. I read this in 2 days. I could have read it in one, but I had things going on, so I had to split it up. I loved this book. I devoured it. It was really enjoyable. It was very good. I liked this one a lot, and I will talk about it in my April wrap-up. And then I also did get The Bear and the Nightingale, and I can't remember. Oh, Libraries and Lattes also had talked about that one. So I did start that. I got a couple chapters in, and then I'm like, okay, I need to focus on the books for my TBR first, and then I will probably finish that one a little later on. And then I thought I would go ahead and share the movies and audiobooks that we got as well. So I got Atlantis, The Lost Empire for my kids to watch. We don't really do a lot of screen time at all. But like over the winter or on a rainy day, or if somebody's sick, I will let them oftentimes watch a movie. And we kind of just have been going through some of my old favorites from my childhood, mostly Disney movies, and so I got this one for them and they enjoyed that. And then my husband and I just watched the John Wayne version of The Shepherd of the Hills. So we got this because I love the book, and he said something recently about I think there's a movie that John Wayne plays in. Anyway, and so we got it and watched it. The movie was fine. It was good. I liked it. But it is so different from the book. Really, the characters' names are the same. But outside of that, it is really different from the book. So if you've seen the movie and you haven't read the book, I encourage you to read the book. If you've read the book and loved it, wouldn't necessarily encourage you to watch the movie. For me, on something like this, when the book is so different from the movie, but I still like the movie, I often just like kind of shut my brain off that they're not the same thing. I liked the book and I like the movie, but they're not the same thing in my mind. The same with this one. It was a fun movie to watch, but it was very different from the book. And then we've been trying to do more audiobooks when we're driving. So most of the time we just listen to music, like kids music and things like that. But as my kids are getting older, we have kind of transitioned into more audiobooks. Well, we still probably listen to music more often than not, but we're trying to get into more audiobooks. So we got this Magic Treehouse set. This has Dragon of the Red Dawn, Monday with a Mad Genius, Dark Day in the Deep Sea, and Eve of the Emperor Penguin. But then also we have out in our Suburban currently is a Christian audio set, and it is about Augustine. So specifically I wanted to listen to biographies. My kids have not been a fan of the narrator for that one, so I think we are going to try to finish it, but they are looking forward to the Magic Tree House as well. Alright, so that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to know what you have gotten from the library recently. If you have some great picture book recommendations and you want to leave them in the comments, that would be so great. Obviously, we read a lot of picture books and we enjoy getting them from the library. And then if you have children's audiobook recommendations, I would also love to hear those, specifically biographies, but really anything. So I do have Audible, but I'm planning to cancel that. And I have Hoopla and Libby and LibriVox as well. But CDs are probably going to be easier in the vehicle for me. So if you have some that you have listened to and have enjoyed, I would love to know that. Thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next video.